Hi everybody, welcome back to Bring Life Indoors. It's Moira here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are having a beautiful day. Today, before I go ahead with today's video, I firstly want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. My channel is growing, it's really growing, and it's all because of you. I wouldn't be where I am or have grown as much as I have if it was not for your love and support. So I really want to say thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching my videos and sharing my videos and recommending me to other people and all that. Thank you for following me. Thank you for your comments. All that means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you as followers. I really do. And I also want to say, concerning last week's video, this past Monday's video, last week's video, yeah, the music was loud and I didn't realize it until later when I had already posted it that it's actually very loud. And I thank God for my subscribers who are honest. You know, they were very honest enough to tell me. Two of my subscribers were honest enough to tell me that the music is loud, and I really appreciate that. You know, because even me, before I even saw the comments, when I sat and I listened to it, I saw and I quickly went to check to read up on my comments because before I deleted it, because once you delete it, you won't be able to see your comments. And it was nice to see that someone was honest, two people were honest enough to tell me, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for mentioning it. I agree, it was too loud. So I didn't waste any time. I actually just decided to take it off. I deleted it, and then I went and edited it up and took off the music and uploaded it again. So I appreciate comments like that also, where you can tell me what I can, what can make my videos even better, you know. And with that video, the problem was you couldn't hear me. The music was louder than it was loud. You couldn't hear me clearly as I was speaking. So yeah, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm sure you've noticed. If you haven't noticed, you can check it out. I did take it down and edit it up and took out the music and posted it back up again. So, but that was last Monday. But I needed to mention it. I really wanted to mention it to say thank you so much. So I really do appreciate your comments. I read all the comments with all my videos, and I take note of what people say. And if it's something I can do different, I do it differently. So thank you so much. But today, I want to talk about string of pearls, a string of dolphins, a string of bananas. Someone asked that I do a video on that. I've learned a lot. Trust me, I've learned a lot from this. I've got them on my table here. This is string of bananas. This is string of bananas. And this one is string of pearls. This is string of pearls. And this one here is string. Oh, there's a pearl falling. I don't like taking them off where they are, where they sit, because they break. They're so fragile, especially the pearls. And this is string of dolphins. Yeah, so I've got them here with me, and this is a different this is a yeah, this is also, I don't know, this one is different from the bananas. You can see it's not the same. I don't know if this one is tears, it's a teardrop, or you know, there's quite a lot of this kind out there, so I don't know what kind is this. I don't know if it's tears, but it's definitely not the same as a banana, because a banana is a bit long. I'm just gonna bring it closer. See, a banana is a bit long as compared to this one. You know, there's a banana, as you can see. So yeah, and this one, this one is a bit different. This one is a bit different. It's not as long. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this. One of my subscribers asked that I do a video on how to care for these. I had mentioned on one of my house tours, I think, where I said I have gotten I seem to have gotten it right, because after killing a whole lot, I've lost a number of how many of these I've killed. Trust me, I've killed a lot. I just never gave up because I love it so much. I love them so much. I think they're the most elegant succulents to grow. I love succulents. So yeah, I never gave up. But from every time I killed one, I learned something from it. So so one of my subscribers asked me to do a video on it. So yeah, I've learned now that once you know what to do with them, then they seem to be easy to care for, but I wouldn't list them under easy to care for plants. But they are easy. You just need to know. I needed to know how to care for them and what to do with them and what not to do with them for me to come to a place where I can believe it when someone tell me they are easy to care for. Because every time I watch the video, they would say they're easy, and they didn't seem that easy for me. I mean, I could never manage to keep it for a long period of time, you know. So yeah, let's talk about, before I talk about the mistakes I have made with these, I just want to give you tips on how to care for them. Or maybe I should, yeah, I think as I talk, then I'll add obviously to each care tip the mistakes I've made. So we talk about lighting. They don't want direct sun. You know, they don't want direct sun at all, but they want to be put in a bright lit area or room, or you know, they want to receive a good amount of bright light if possible throughout the day. So that's where I have mine. Now the dolphins, this is Jonathan's dolphin. Look how nice is that. This is very beautiful. I didn't take down offense, I just brought one. This is Jonathan string of dolphins. Both the dolphins, Jonathan's one and Offense's one, they're hanging on their bedroom window. I've hanged them on their bedroom window, and they get morning sun, like a good amount of morning sun, and they love it. They love it. They are thriving. I mean, they've grown so long. They've grown so long in a very short space of time. So they are thriving. They are loving the light they're getting. So they're getting morning sun, right? They're getting morning sun. Morning sun is not as harsh as your afternoon sun. So while we say they don't want to be exposed to direct sun, you can give them morning sun as long as you're not giving them afternoon sun, because afternoon sun is very harsh, you know, on some of these plants. So they will love morning sun if you can give them morning sun. But if you don't have, if you can't give them morning sun, just make sure they get bright light, lots of bright light throughout the day. So that's where this one, Offense's one and Jonathan's one, are sitting. They're getting direct morning sun. And then from there, they get bright light sun, bright light. I mean, they get bright light throughout the day. After the morning sun have passed, they get a good amount of bright light. So, you know, and they're loving it. They're doing well, they're thriving, they're growing. And then as for my, while we're talking about light, as for my string of bananas and my string of pearls, they're both sitting. I've also hanged them on my window, in a family corner, right at the window. They're also getting morning sun. They get morning sun, and then throughout the day they get bright light throughout the day. So they love it, you know, and yeah, they don't have any issues. They love it. They get bright light throughout the day and they get morning sun. So yeah, that's that. And then I've got this one, as you can see, it's in this I did this arrangement myself in this beautiful pot. I got this as a gift. Uh, so yeah, so they, you can see there's the string of pearls. I had just put a few in there when I did this arrangement. I put a few in there. You can see that there's some coming out there, and you know, these ones they get bright light throughout the day. They're at the window where I get afternoon sun, but I made sure that the pot is not receiving the direct sun. You know, it's away from uh, um, uh, the direct sun itself, so it's shaded a bit, so it's getting bright light throughout the day, this one. So yeah, I didn't put a lot of pearls in here when I did the arrangement. It was just a string or two, I think. So, but the fact that they didn't die, I thought they would die. I didn't think they would make it, because I was just experimenting with them to see if they will make it in this pot, you know. They didn't die. They're doing very well. They're doing very well, and I'm loving this arrangement. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they will grow. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they will grow, and yeah. So far so good. So that's how much I've grown when it comes to these things. I can't even play around with them in arrangements. You know, before all I did was kill them. But anyway, so yeah. So yeah, I've grown a lot. I really have when it comes to these things. Same thing with this one. It's sitting in the office by the windowsill, and it's getting morning light and bright light throughout the day. So yeah, that's that. That's that. When it comes to light requirements, that's what you should do with these string of pearls or bananas or dolphins. If you can't give them morning sun, try to give them bright, lots of bright light. They will really appreciate it. Trust me, they will thrive for you. Yeah, and when it comes to watering, let's talk about watering. That's how I killed mine. With me, it had nothing. I had them in a good spot. The lighting was never an issue. With me, the issue was water. That's how I killed mine. I literally drowned them. Yeah, that's how I killed mine. So when it comes to watering these plants, they are succulents. These plants are succulents. They don't like to be overwatered at all. Trust me, they won't make it. They won't survive it. Like I said, I've killed a lot to come to know that fact. So they like to be neglected. If you are one of those people who you feel you like plants, but you are not always on top of it when it comes to watering, then you'll do very well with these. You'll do very well with these. They like to be left alone. They like to be neglected, really, when it comes to water. So that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that, because sometimes I'll think, but I haven't given it water in a while. I need to give it water. And before I know it, it's gone. It's really gone. So I've learned to leave them alone. You know, I've learned to leave them alone. And as you can see, they're in small pots. So as soon as I get home with them, I put them in terracotta pots, because one thing I like about terracotta pots, it lets out moisture. It's very porous, so it lets out moisture. You know, so, and it helps the soil, because it's very porous, it helps the soil to dry out very quickly. That way, you are guaranteed that the soil will dry up relatively quickly, and your plant is not gonna sit in wet soil for too long. And so ideally, you want to make sure that it's really dry. I leave mine to go bone dry. I leave mine to go bone dry. I don't even do this thing of it must be dry until then and then you get, no. I let the whole pot dry out. I do. I let the whole pot. They are succulents. They can handle it. Trust me. And if you let it go that way, they will love you for it. They'll thrive for you. So let them dry out. Leave them alone. And if you're not sure, if you feel, oh, I wanted to water them today, and you're not sure, leave it. Don't water it. Leave it. They're better on the dry side of things than on the moist side of things. So if you feel you're not sure if you should water your plant today, don't water it. Leave it alone. And sometimes if you have left it for too long, it will tell you, because these will start getting a little bit wrinkly. Like, yeah, then okay, I've left it for too long. I need to water it. You'll see it. It will tell you. So that's what I do with watering, and that's a mistake I've done. I didn't have an issue with light. I had a good environment for them where light is concerned. But my main mistake I made was watering. So when it comes to these plants, remember, they are succulents. Don't go giving them too much water. And with mine, they're sitting in these small pots. So I go 2 to 3 weeks before I give them water to drink. I do go 2 to 3 weeks before I give them water to drink. And if I'm not sure and I've lost count, sometimes I lose count in my head to say, but when was the last time I give this water? I go for days again. Just to be sure that I'm not going to overwater it. So yeah, I've gotten a hang of it, and they are growing, and I'm excited to shop more of them because now I know what to do with them. So that's water. They don't like to be overwatered. A little goes a long way. So if you've let them to go bone dry like I do, because I leave them to go bone dry. So with mine, they're sitting, I've put a plastic tray underneath where I've hanged them, that I don't ever have to take them off from there. So what I do is I bottom water them. I pour water in that it's a clear plastic tray. So I just pour water inside there and I let it drink from there. So and once it has drunk and I see it's not drinking anymore, I just tilt it a bit to remove the water that is left. But most of the time, because I know now, once you know your plants, you know how much they drink. I know how much it takes to make the pot moist enough, if I may put it that way. So I never have to throw water out because I give it just what it needs, and it drinks, and you see the top will be moist, and I know it's okay for the next coming few weeks. So I bottom water mine, because to have to take them off from where I'm hanging them, it's a mission. It's really a mission. So I just have a clear plastic pot, a clear plastic tray underneath, and I have it hanging with that clear plastic plastic tray. I keep on saying pot. So it makes it easy for me for when I water. So all I do is fill up that tray with water when I need to water, and they drink from the bottom up. And then once that tray is empty, I know it's done. They're sorted for the next couple of weeks or few weeks to come. So yeah, that's how I do it with mine. And so water is many times that's where we get it wrong, is with watering. To be very honest, if we can get that right, you will love these. If you can get the watering right, you'll love these. And the best thing, like I said, leave them alone. If you're not sure, don't water. If you can, keep a schedule, monitor your plants, know how long it takes for a pot to be completely dry. Then you will know. You will have an idea of, you won't do a guessing game. You'll have an idea and know how your pot feels when it's dry. Like now, it is not dry because I watered them a week ago. It's very heavy. It's still heavy. So there's no way they're thirsty. They're not thirsty. So know how your pot feels when it's dry, and you'll see, you'll have an idea of how long it takes before it dries out completely, and then for it to dry out completely, because you want it to dry out completely. So you'll have an idea of how long it takes for it to dry out completely, and then you will know um, around when to start checking if you need to water it or not, you know. So yeah, that's watering. I don't know if I make sense, because I'm just giving you what I've learned. I don't know if I make sense. I hope I'm making sense. And the other thing is fertilizing, feeding. I feed my succulents, all my succulents, once in a while. It's not something I do monthly. I don't do it monthly. I don't do it regularly. I do it once in a while. Um, yeah, if you over fertilize them, they won't make it. Also, they don't like that. They don't like to be over fertilized or overfed, you know. So I do mine once in a while. Once in a while. I'll be very honest, once in a while. And it's not something I do often. It's not something I do regularly. And I try to stay away from that. Um, I don't follow what I do with the rest of my house plants. I mean, with the rest of my house plants, I I feed regularly, but when it comes to my succulents, it's not something I do regularly. So yeah, I'll say be careful with that. Don't over fertilize your string of pearls and string of bananas or string of dolphins. Um, yeah, the less the better, you know. Well, that's from my experience. So that's it. And propagation. Um, like I showed you on this arrangement, I just took a cutting and I clipped off all the other pearls and I sticked it into the soil, and that was it. And it took root. And I did the same with this one. This one, um, I was putting it up the other day. I took it off its hanger and I was putting it back up, and one of the string broke. And then I just cut it into two, and then I took off a few pearls off, and then I sticked it into soil, and it seems to have taken root because, yeah, didn't die. Didn't die. And you can see it's beginning to grow. Ooh, I almost dropped my tea. You can see it's beginning to grow. There's a little growth there. Anyway, I don't know if you can see. So they're very easy to propagate. They're very easy to propagate. Same thing with bananas. They're easy to propagate. All you have to do is you cut it wherever you want to cut it, and you remove a few of the bananas, and you can stick it in water if you want to, or you can leave it to coalesce a little bit and then you put it directly into soil. You know, you can either do it with water or soil, but they're very easy to propagate. But nonetheless, it's been fun. I hope this answers all your questions when it comes to string of bananas and pearls and dolphins and tears, because I still think that's tears. It doesn't look anything like a banana. But anyway, it's been fun. So if you have any questions, please put them on the comments down below. But I hope I was able to cover, yeah, the questions you had. But it's been fun. Or if you have string of bananas or dolphins or pearls and you've been growing them, and please share what you, I mean, we learn from each other. I look forward to hearing from you as to what do you do with yours. How do you keep them alive? How do you keep them happy? How do you keep them growing? As for me, that's what I do. What I've just shared with you is what I do, and they are growing, they're doing well. I mean, to be very honest, the ones I've killed, they've never grown this long. I didn't keep them long enough in my house to see this, to see them trail. Because when you get them at the shop, many times they're not trailing. Some nursery shops, when they sell them, they will not be yet trailing. If they are, it will be like this short, you know. And believe me, to having had these ones for this long and to see them trailing the way they are doing, it's satisfying. All it says to me is, Moira, you have done well. You've learned and continue to learn. You can never say you've arrived, right? I'll never say I've arrived. I'm still learning, and I can only say I hope I continue to give them what they need, to treat them the way they want to be treated, and that they'll continue to give back this beauty. But yeah, that's it from me. It's been fun. Have yourself a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.